You may have seen good Western movies before, like Last Man Standing with Bruce Willis in the lead, and In a Valley of Violence with Ethan Hawke in the lead. But this controversial movie called Rust, just out now, a movie we thought would never see the light of day, must actually be one of the worst Western movies in history. The biggest problem with the movie is how we see this emotional deep talk like in other Western movies such as Blackthorn and The Power of the Dog. It never feels like a pure gunslinger movie like Young Guns, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, or The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That's a trap a lot of Western movies fall in these days. And you also see those examples in the two movies I mentioned at the beginning, where you play on those deep emotions way too much to a point it becomes very boring. That's at least not what I want to see in a Western movie. I like to see the bad guys and the good guys blow themselves to shit, but sadly that's not often the case anymore. They have to be all sobby and talk about their deep emotional past, and you need to feel for the character instead of the classic revenge arc where we do not go so deep in the past of the main character. Sadly, the latter is often the chosen road in new movies as a whole these days, and that's why a lot of new movies suck as well, just like this one. A second issue with the movie is how you see perhaps the weakest performance that Alec Baldwin has ever done in his life. It clearly seems like he does not enjoy this role at all after all the trouble, but he is naturally forced to see it through because they decided to reshoot and finish the movie out of respect for the family of the deceased in this fatal shooting that happened during the filming of it a couple of years ago. In addition, he also felt lethargic in his bad movie Punishment from last year called Crescent City, but this role must be the worst he has ever done. In a way, the movie has a concept that could work, but this kid as a murderer takes an unlikely plot where it's all about the chemistry on set between the kid and Alec Baldwin, which basically is non-existent. And when that does not work, we are of course left with an off-par movie. Throughout history, we have seen many such cases, and we see another such bad chemistry case here. Generally, there are other bad characters, and unlike in Gunslingers, actually from this year, which remarkably has a low rating than this one, with roughly the same amount of votes, they actually made all the characters work, even the female ones, which of course is never the case here, and it lays on a hard recipe for a bad movie. The movie itself is a hard drag to get through, which is another issue to address. It probably starts better than it ends with his kid on death row and he is in the jail, awaiting the hanging, then saved by Baldwin with a ride off to Mexico, exchanging these deep talks in the process that never calls for a good Western movie. In other words, the movie is very dragged and does not entertain you fully through the running time. The gunslinging scenes that are shot during this movie are also very badly filmed, and there's no intensity in them. But I guess that's just another reason why this is one of the worst Western movies in history, and by my standards, it is not worth more than a 4 out of 10, guys.